It's very hard to deliver a presentation with Steve. I don't have bananas or anything else. I'll do my best. Usually my presentations are very technical, but this time I found myself in business stream. Okay, I'll do my best to speak plain English, not PHP or C. Yeah, I'm Evgeny from BG Remote, Canada. We position ourselves as IT consultancy company, but mainly help our clients with monitoring, Zabbix, and automation, like DevOps stuff. And here, this is my presentation when these two merge together. So let's start. Alexey already talked about this today morning. Zabbix is open source. Basically what it means, everybody can see source code, can modify, can publish, can use it. At the same time, I have to stress here that Zabbix has very qualified team of developers. I know C, I know PHP, and I see the code, and I'm telling you, this is very good code. Also, we see lots of testing. This is automated testing, what we see in source code. I'm pretty sure there is a lot of manual testing as well. And what's very important, this is all the features available to everybody without any licensing, no enterprise subscription, anything. Everything is available there. So Zabbix rocks in this way. Now, what's the benefit of Zabbix being open source? Actually, lots of benefits. You can recompile C, modify something. You can write front-end modules. Lots of them published in GitHub, available for everybody. You can customize Zabbix agent by adding plugins and bunch of third-party projects. And about one of these projects, third-party projects, I'm going to talk today. So first of all, I'm going to talk about Ansible Zabbix collection. Zabbix meets Ansible collection. And what does it bring to us? First of all, automation orchestration. It automates daily stuff in a way that you don't have to do anything manually. You can run something, go drink coffee, come back, everything is ready. Huge time savings. You can repeat these steps daily, hourly, it's up to you. No human errors, obviously, because we have automation. You can implement so-called monitoring as code. You can define everything in code, run again automated task. You have everything you configured in code. Then, test environment is identical to production, which simplifies troubleshooting, debugging, testing, everything. And it brings much more. So, before I start talking about this collection, I have to briefly tell you what Ansible is in general. So you have a bunch of servers in unknown state. You run Ansible playbook, and whatever you configured as code, it brings your servers into desired state, like Linux, Windows, networking devices. Everything is configured according to what you want. Then, what is community Zabbix collection? It's literally a lot of Python code. And it has two components, like Zabbix components, you can deploy server, database, agent, all Zabbix components in automated way. And, which is actually huge, you can configure many objects inside Zabbix. So once Zabbix already deployed, you can configure hosts, templates, user group, users, everything inside this ready-to-go Zabbix. Plus, you have a plugin that lets you create Ansible inventory, so-called. If you already have Zabbix, if you manage Zabbix, if you use it, and suddenly decide to automate stuff, you can write this plugin, and actually it reads everything from Zabbix, your installation, and compiles Ansible code for you. So, two parts of collection, as I said. First of all, roles. You have bare OS servers, nothing installed, only operating system. You run Ansible playbook, and you get all the components of Zabbix installed and configured, again, in automated way. Server, database, proxy, web, agents, for all possible operating systems. MySQL, PostgreSQL. Proxy, again, MySQL, Postgres, SQLite. Web interface, Apache, Nginx. Basically, what's available from Zabbix, you can do it using Ansible collection in automated way. The second part is modules. I'm pretty sure everybody knows this default installation. You install Zabbix, you have only one host, Zabbix server, that's it. Now, you start using Zabbix collection. So you define in code what you want to have in Zabbix, run Ansible playbook, bam, you have all the hosts configured, grouped in certain host groups, templates applied to every host, and they are starting, and Zabbix starts monitoring these hosts. Easy peasy. So now you can say, why should I use your collection? I can use just pure REST API. Zabbix has beautiful REST API. Yes, you can, and actually collection uses this REST API behind the scene. But let's take a look briefly. So this is what you have as a code in Ansible. Everything is kind of human, understood by human beings. It's human language. Host groups, Linux servers. Templates, Linux by Zabbix agent. Now let's take a look at REST API. You would have to configure something like this, code something like this. First of all, you don't know whether the server exists or it doesn't exist. You have to create or update what method to use. Then you have groups, have to define groups and templates. Before you type group ID 50, you have to find out that Linux servers group has ID 50. So another API call. Template IDs, the same story. So it's not very friendly, I would say. Collection, what does it give you? It's more human-like language. Any number of objects managed by the same code. So in one run, you can deploy like 10 or 100 servers. No problem at all. You easily switch between different environments. You just have to use different code, different inventories. And natural version control. You can commit this code into Git repository, and that's it. Again, reuse it. REST API, much more coding. As I mentioned, you have to take care of all IDs. You cannot have just names of groups, templates, and all this stuff. Knowledge transfer. If one person delivers this code, then you have to support this code. And if this person leaves the company, it's a lot harder to transfer this. While with Ansible, if a person knows Ansible, it basically knows your stuff already. And which is important, if you decide to write large enough project to cover complex environment, you'll basically rewriting this collection, implementing all this stuff. First get, see whether the object exists in Zabbix, then update or create logic and lots of code. Now, how did this open source project start, this community collection? I couldn't find out actually. All these guys already left this project, but it's believed that just these 4 guys from Epic Games, approximately in year 2013, just started to code because they wanted to simplify their life. And the first version was published in GitHub only in 2020, and it didn't have any roles. You couldn't deploy Zabbix components. You just could configure this object inside Zabbix. Now, current state. It's quite popular, over 7 million downloads, as you can see. 5 roles to install every Zabbix component. 42 modules to create, manage different objects inside Zabbix. And it's approved by Red Hat in terms of, it comes with default Ansible installation. And Red Hat actually sponsors Ansible itself. Now, life is going on. All these people, by the way, see different countries. So this is purely international project. All these guys already no more work on this code. They're ready for comments, for answers, for guidance, but they moved on. They take care of other stuff. They no longer participate actively in this project. But current state, these are only 4 or 5 maintainers, current maintainers. Again, you see USA, Norway, Japan, Canada, different countries just cooperate, work on the same project and maintain this project. All the contributors, again, they're coming from different countries. I can't possibly leave them, mention them here. It's literally tens, if not hundreds of people who contribute this code. By basically, these guys review the code before merging anything. They correct some mistakes. They review and actually merge these other contributors' code into main branch and release new versions. Why, you can ask. Nobody ever earned a cent of this project, so no money involved at all. It just happens in open source world that you start using something, and because it does make sense, it helps you in day-to-day work. Then you find a bug or missing feature, you want to implement something, you do this, and then you just become involved. You can stop, and it brings you some satisfaction, some day-to-day, I don't know, joy, whatever you call it, and you do it because you want it. This is very important about to mention about open source project. So it's pure initiative, pure free time of everybody involved. Now a couple of things about quality of this collection. First of all, automated testing. It's fully automated on every push, every pull request. We run a lot of stuff just to test. Here you can see that we test all currently supported versions of Zabbix, plus on all supported operating systems. Well, maybe not all, but most of them. And every module, again, object inside Zabbix. Again, all supported Zabbix versions, latest Python versions, latest Ansible versions. If any test fails, we cannot merge. We cannot release new code. It must pass all the tests. About number of tests. First of all, we do sanity tests. So it's nice Python, it's YAML, it's Ansible best practices. Everything is good. Documentation section is checked for being consumable by Ansible. I'll talk about documentation a bit later, but it's very important. Documentation is in code. And you see all these tests, they must pass. Now roles, Zabbix deployment. For every combination of Zabbix version and operating system, we actually deploy containers, separate containers. As you can see here, we have 44 jobs completed. It's all different containers for different combination of operating system and Zabbix version. All of them must pass. Then, for example, for Zabbix agent, we have 96 already jobs because Zabbix agent installed on more operating system versions than Zabbix server. Now, modules, the thing we configure inside Zabbix, hosts, users, etc. Again, we test every Zabbix version with every Python version, with every Ansible version. As you can see here, this is integration tests, 33 different jobs, different containers, isolated from each other. Lots of testing. Documentation, it's actually inside code. You don't write any HTML pages, nothing. Everything is generated by Ansible later from our code. And documentation must, if you can see here, I put in code requirements. It goes in requirements section. I have parameters in the code described, like name, its string, it's required, description, name of action. It goes again on HTML page automatically. And what's important, whatever you document, all the parameters must match to how they are used in the code itself. On the above, you see documentation. On the bottom, you see how this parameter is used in code. If there is a mismatch, for example, in documentation, you say it's required, but in the code itself, required is optional, then the test won't pass. It will fail. You won't be able to merge anything, release new version. Summary. So what we can say, the code of open source is actually of very high quality. Community engagement is very big plus. It's not a drawback. It's very nice that lots of different people contribute to this project, code for this project. They do it not for money, just because they're interested in this. Security is enforced. It's no comments here. It's already a fact. Documentation is often better than inexpensive paid products. And again, this is all done by people who love coding. They don't do it because of money. They do it because of it's open source. They can contribute. They can fix something. They can add new features. And basically, all businesses, enterprises should not be afraid of open source projects. Open source is cool, it's nice. Some links useful if you want to dive into this topic. You can visit our YouTube channel. There are infrastructure as code, tutorials there, Ansible, everything's here. Yeah, join us, enjoy this collection. If you don't contribute, just use it. And Zabbix rocks. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.